These two guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackie and Judd on SKOR North and SKORNorth.com.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
Write that down.
Today's edition of Write That Down, the only show in America, by the way, that has the stones to put statistics next to our predictions, potentially career-altering shows every Wednesday here, so people can find out just how wrong we are. Yep. This is the OG edition of Write That Down here on Minnesota Sports with Mackie and Judd, the SKOR North YouTube channel. A quick shout-out to Nicolay Law. Nicolay Law knows that when you or a loved one gets injured, ordinary life can come to a stop. Things can get complicated, and during that time, insurance companies could pressure you, and you just need some space. You need someone to help you get the compensation you deserve after an accident, and that's where Russell Nicolay and his incredible team come in. NicolayLaw.com, or give them a call at 1-855-NICOLAY. Get Minnesota's local award-winning injury lawyers. Get Nicolay. And a reminder that we are giving away a 75-inch Roku Pro Series 4K TV on the SKOR North app this month. Nearly an $1,800 value. A great, beautiful TV for you to watch Twins playoff stretch baseball, maybe some Vikings preseason action. Zebby Fever, the Zebmeister.
The
Zebster.
I like Zebby.
The Zebmeister.
I like him. He looks like a pitcher.
You can win that 75-inch Roku Pro Series 4K TV on the SKOR North app. Listener awards, free to download, free to register. So, hello, gentlemen.
Write that down.
How are we feeling here today?
Feeling good.
Real good.
Feeling good.
Okay. Let's get to the accountabilities here. We'll explain how this works first. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs on the show. And listeners, if you want to participate like Will is about to, you can send Declan a message through the SKOR North app. We'll get you scheduled for some time in the coming weeks and months. So, Judd, you're up first to be held accountable.
Yep.
Okay. 2 things came off the board for you.
Yeah, I really missed on this one because you didn't tell the truth.
Oh, wow. You said Carlos Correa will publicly express disappointment about the Twins' trade deadline plans.
Yeah.
He did not. He said, listen, it's all about the guys in this room.
Yeah.
We are enough.
Well, and then he said we tried. So they clearly were like, just say we tried. Say we tried really hard.
Yeah.
What do you think he really thinks?
I think he's pissed. I think he should be pissed, and I think he is pissed. I think he was pissed. Yes.
I think he needs to get back on the field, though, first. I think that should be.
Yeah, that's not a bad. Yeah, that's what.
That's not a bad idea.
It's like a trade, Carlos. If we can get you back,
that is an excellent point. I've been wondering, like, and I'm not even criticizing him, but like, what is the trigger date?
What do you mean the trigger date
for him to play? Like the trigger date of okay, now you've just recovered enough. Like he's not going to feel good for the rest of the year. Like it's never going to go back to where it was in April. So what's the trigger? What's the okay? Now the pain threshold is such that I can work through it, or does that day not come?
I think you give it at least until September 1st. There's no right. They just took 2 games against the Royals. Like it's not like a dire situation here. If they can keep winning and he can keep recovering, I don't think you do it. I don't think you do it out of haste.
And it's not a situation, because I asked Falvey about this. Can you just like go in there and rip it out? And he said, nope, can't do that yet. Because like that's what happened. Yeah, yet. I was eventually they were able. It can rip by itself, and they can get it out though. But you can't go in there prematurely and rip it out. No.
I don't know. There's a surgical procedure though. I think it just rips by itself. I have never heard of a surgical procedure being done to rip it, but it just rips, and then it hurts like hell shortly, and then it begins to recover. But Phil just gave me an idea for a Judd Zolga at Substack.com. Do Twins need Correa? Like Willie Castro, you're right. I mean, they're winning all these games. Do Twins even need him?
Need their best player?
Do the Twins need their best player? Do the Twins need their best player?
Clearly not.
I'm workshopping right now.
You said the Timberwolves would be scheduled to play on Christmas Day in 2024. Finally.
Christmas Day, opening night against the Lakers.
Yeah. Not a bad showcase for the Timberwolves.
No.
All right, I had one thing come off the board. I said Team USA would win the gold medal and Anthony Edwards would be the leading scorer in said game. Well, then Steph Curry decided to join the party and hit 28 threes in that game. So I was wrong. Listener Shane said, is it Samis Reyes will have a preseason touchdown against the Raiders? He did not.
Yep.
And then Declan had 2 things off the board. You said the Twins will take at least 3 out of 4 from the Gardos.
Oh,
Sitting pretty.
Damn.
yeah, you were.
But my
And
guy
Quincy Hall would win the 400. Quincy Hall looked like he was going to pass out, trailing by 100 yards, it looked like, around the last turn, and then he found another level.
I love that.
That was really
race.
impressive.
It's my favorite race.
Oh, it's incredible.
God. I mean, that dude looked like he was
unbelievable,
cooked going around the 4th turn, and then he just like found something else.
What a game. I can't wait for 4 years. What a games. The games were great.
I was legitimately sad for the games to end. I was all Gold
You weren't
Zone
the only
channel
one.
every day.
There was a local sports talk host who spent the majority of his show on Monday lamenting the end of the games.
Shots fired.
No, I love the guy. He's great. He's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, he is. He is fantastic. This is not a
Okay.
shot at him. I'm just saying he was
Walk it like I
lamenting.
talk it. Yeah.
He was lamenting the games being done, and I was celebrating, and that's the difference between the two of us.
I love him, too. I interned for him one time. He won't make eye contact with me for 18 years now.
I worked with him at the Star Tribune for years. I
Great guy.
like him a lot. We're friends. I consider him to be a close personal friend. He liked the Olympics. I do not care about them.
So I'm batting 393 on the season. Declan's batting 382. Listeners 365. Judd 337. So a nice season for everyone. Listeners have 8 home runs. The 3 of us have 7. So anyone's game. The season runs from Super Bowl to Super Bowl, by the way. So got a long ways to go. Declan 363 average leads everyone all time. The career stats going back to 2018, by the way. Judd leads the hits category with 336 career hits. Listeners lead the career home run category with 63 home runs. Let's get Will in here.
Well,
Making his return as a guest listener predictor. The headphone setup. This is great, man. Welcome in.
I do what I can, you know.
So you've been on before here. What's your Vikings fan, right, Will?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How are you feeling after the J.J. McCarthy injury?
I had a buddy in high school who had a similar kind of situation. It was he showed up, knee soreness, went to the doctor. Then it was we're going to check and see in surgery. And then it was we thought maybe 4 weeks, and then it turned out to be 6 months. So I have a little trepidation as to how that surgery is going to go. But I'm, it's if you're going to take the as a redshirt year, then might as well, Like if there was a time for it to happen, it was now.
Yeah, I think this gives everyone just a chance to take a deep breath and pause here. It should not be a career-altering injury, but it is the Vikings in Minnesota sports, so you never really know. Let's start with Will. Make his first prediction over to Judd, Declan, and then back to me. We'll make 3 trips around the room. Here we go.
Write that down.
Yeah, my first prediction is going to be Timberwolves related. I think one of or both of either Leonard Miller or Josh Minot will not make it past the 2025 trade deadline. I think Shark Tim Connolly is going to smell the blood in the water and just go for it. And one of those 2 guys or both will not be on the team in order to add and what I think would probably be more shooting in a move like that, but who knows?
Yeah, Leonard Miller, man, he should be a really interesting rotation player for them at some point. But if you can leverage him in a win now move, be interesting to see what they do there. All right, Judd.
All right. As Declan has been noting on a daily basis, the Cleveland Guardians closer, Emmanuel Clase, is coming in and pitching every single day. Okay. It's ridiculous. Like, he's great, but it's ridiculous. So write this down. Emmanuel Clase right now has 3 blown saves on the season. He will blow at least 3 more saves before the season is complete. They're going to wear him to a nub. I mean, this is very old school. Stephen Vogt is very old school. I'm just going to bring in the same guys over and over. I think there's a fine line between too much rest, like babying your players, and abusing them.
Yeah.
And this is bullpen abuse, which we've seen before. So Clase, 3 blown saves now. He will blow 3 or more saves before the season is complete. I just think he's going to wear down.
Okay.
He's pitched in 4 straight games, and he has thrown, 10, 10, 20 against the Twins to end the series, and then 13 in the first win of the series. So
And no off day in between any of those?
Zero
wild.
off days.
Yeah, bringing him back after the Twins game on Sunday is incredible. Because that was two consecutive days, and then they brought him back again in that 9-8 game, right?
Yeah. Wow, dude. All right. Well, people keep saying that at some point this can't continue for Cleveland, right? There's no way that the infrastructure is going to hold up the way that they lean on that bullpen. But I think they still have the best record in the American League right now as of this morning. So
they lost 7 in a row at this point last week, and now once again they have the best record in baseball. They find ways.
By the way, because of the changing of positions between the Orioles and Yankees, as of this morning, the Twins would play Baltimore in Baltimore. With the Twins passed, I think I'll take Baltimore.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, Baltimore's
there's
good,
no team that scares me in the American League right now.
I just would like
there's
to
good
avoid
teams,
the
but
if possible.
Don't think like that. Don't think
like that. The last time I didn't think like that, we were.
Bring them on.
Oh boy.
Bring them on. Did Rocky want to avoid Clubber Lang?
You want me to
in
say
Rocky
it?
3?
Because I'm afraid. That's why. Because I'm afraid. That's why.
But then he got over it, and he beat Clubber Lang's ass in like 3 rounds. Slay the Dragon.
This was supposed to be an exhibition.
Okay, back to Declan here. First prediction.
I'm going to make an Emmanuel Clase prediction. I have one written down already.
Wow.
Write this down. And this would be a home run because these guys never received the amount of votes for it. But Emmanuel Clase will finish top 3 in Cy Young voting.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, it's not like a foregone conclusion, but
top 3. He's having an insane year. He has a .64 ERA. He has allowed 4 earned runs all season. His whip is .6. He doesn't even strike out a lot of guys. He just induces incredibly weak contact. And he is literally going to be clearly used every single damn day, it looks like. Yes, I agree with Judd. There might be some wheels that come off a couple times, but he's having one of the best seasons we've seen from a reliever in a long time. And I think he's going to get some love for it. So he'll get top 3 Cy Young voting. How about that, Guardians fans? I'm not just an engagement farmer and poking fun at wind tunnels.
But the Royals are
Class
cheating.
A.
But the Royals cheat.
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny. The Royals, they come to Minnesota and they have a hard time scoring runs.
I brought that up to Rocco yesterday because he was like, do we know what Bobby Witt hits at home? And I said, he hits 400. And he looked at me and he went, 400. And I was like,
exactly, dude.
400.
So even
I'm not exaggerating.
I don't want to put anything.
Wow, you're going down a path.
Even people in the game are like, really? You sure about that?
Yeah.
You sure about that? It's weird, man. It's super weird. Okay, write this down. The Zebmeister. The Zebster. Zebby Matthews came in. Just shoved last night in his Major League debut. He climbed from high A at the start of the season all the way up to the major leagues and looks like he belongs. So I want to quantify that. I think he's going to stick in the rotation. I don't think this is just going to be a one-off thing. So write this down. Zebby Matthews will make at least 5 more starts for the Twins between now and the end of their postseason run. So that's my way of quantifying that he will be a mainstay in this rotation between now and the end of the season. Now maybe he makes 5 more and it's not working and they shut her down or something, but I think he's going to run out there at least 5 more times as a starter in the Twins rotation.
He looks like a pitcher should look. Festa too thin.
He's got the jawline.
He's got the big body too. He's just like
as you said in our text. He looks like a horse. He's a horse. He's a horse,
huge.
like a pitching horse.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
Thick boy.
Yeah.
Write this down.
All right, back to Will for his second prediction.
This one's going to be a little, college football, Big Ten football. I think the Big Ten gets at most 3 teams into this 12-team college football playoff format. At the most. I don't think the conference is as good as people think it is. I think at most it's, Ohio State, Oregon, and like maybe Penn State. I don't think Michigan has the juice anymore.
So 3 or fewer teams in the college football playoff from the Big Ten? Okay. Are the Gophers still sitting at 4.5 in sports books?
Right, over.
You're taking the over?
Every time over.
Okay.
That run game
seems it seems really low. And they should have a competent quarterback here too.
Write this down.
I'm not saying they make the college football playoff, but I feel like the over is fairly safe. Judd, your second prediction.
Okay, I've backlogged so many Vikings predictions at this point that I'm going to spill one to this show as well. Levi Drake Rodriguez will have another sack in Saturday's game against Cleveland.
Okay.
Levi Drake Rodriguez, the motor. Paid off once already. He's going to have another sack on Saturday against the Browns.
He's going to make it hard for Judd's 5.0. We did
Leave him
four.
off,
Was it
I know.
4.0 or 4? No. What did we just do?
3.0.
For the
3.0,
4.0 to not include him.
Yeah.
Which you can
Write
find.
this down.
You can find that 3.0 53-man projection on the Purple Daily podcast feed today.
Yep.
Declan, your second prediction.
All right, write this down. The Twins will be at least a half game out at some point between now and next week's. Write that down.
When you say at least
A half game. So by the time the games are over in a day and the new games begin over the next day, 0.5, the Twins will be at least 0.5 games back of the first place team in the AL.
So at most, right? So they're going to be within 0.5 games.
Yes.
Because right now they're more than they are at least.
They're 3.5. Yes. So at some point
They'll be within a half
pull
game.
within.
they'll be within a half game.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
I got you.
Yep.
I got you.
Tracking. Just want to make sure, because
Sports
I'm the
Dad's
one
got
that
you,
reads off the prompter here in the spreadsheet. So I just
Go
want to
bleep
Write
yourself,
this
San
down.
Diego.
Okay, write this down. So Judd already mentioned that the Timberwolves, or maybe Declan did. One of you guys mentioned that they're playing opening day. They open the season, first day of the NBA national schedule. They're playing on Christmas. Write this down. And I'm stealing a line from Jake Graffs on Twitter here, the great Jake's Graffs. That the Timberwolves are going to be the first team in NBA history, or the first Timberwolves team at least in NBA history, to play opening night, Christmas, and an NBA Finals game. So my prediction is the Timberwolves will play in the NBA Finals this upcoming season. Write it down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
I am drinking that Kool-Aid, man. Anthony Edwards, Olympic experience. Karl Anthony Towns,
Spilling
stay
it on
healthy.
your face. You're spilling it all. You're like drinking it from a
with glee.
fishbowl.
Write this down.
With glee. All right, Will, what's your third and final prediction?
Oh, that's my bad.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Sorry, Will.
What are we doing?
It was
What are
me.
we doing?
It was me.
Yeah, it's Declan. Just blame him.
Simeon Woods Richardson, he's getting a start at some point in the postseason, and he's going at least 6 innings.
Ooh.
Oh,
Like he has stuff.
yeah.
Like
Wow,
I've
dude.
seen it too many times. He has stuff.
I love that. Sneaky, man. He looked a little rickety there for, once these guys get into August sometimes, as Jose Barrios showed you year after year after year, he gets into August and then just stalls out. But he's picked it back up if he can get over that August hump for the first time, pitch into September and October. So good stuff here, Will. Since you've got this life-changing platform again, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that helped you get here?
I think last time I said my dad, which the answer doesn't really change. But recently I've been like getting a lot more into golf with him, and that's been another just like outlet for sports and sports in general. And so repeat shout out, Dad, you're the greatest like coach, sports person to talk with of all time. So
Love it, man.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Will's dad. Good luck with your predictions, Will. We'll see you in the postseason for that Simeon Woods Richardson gem.
it's happening.
Don't
Damn
sleep on
right.
Zebby. Don't sleep on
Hashtag.
Zeb. The Zebinator.
You could squeeze them both in. We'll see you, Will.
Thanks.
You could throw those guys both in your rotation. Right now, who would you trust more in a postseason game, Pablo Lopez or the Zebmeister?
Well, the Zebmeister, right? Got to be the Zebmeister. No, Judd and I were actually workshopping this yesterday in the press box. If assuming Joe Ryan doesn't pitch again, which I will have a prediction on here shortly. If it's game 3, Simeon probably does start that game, but how long does he go? Does he just get the first time through, and then you turn it like all hands on deck? Because I mean, game 3 in a wild card series, obviously it's all hands on deck. But how long does he go? Do you ride it? Do you just let him get the first time through the order? Do you have a handicapper on the back end for the second time through? Very interesting stuff.
And you have a prediction coming up here that's going to...
About Joe Ryan. Got
it. Okay.
About Joe Ryan. But Judd and I were workshopping the idea of what happens in a game 3 for this pitching staff.
This was fairly early in last night's game, though. So I've been workshopping solo as well.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
After you said you were worried about the pitching matchup against the Royals, and then you were still worried about yesterday's game in the third inning when they were up 5-1.
I'll fully admit, I said at the beginning of the series when I looked at the pitching matchups a little bit outside of Monday, because, if Pablo pitches well, you're fine, right? I mean, I thought last night's was a bad matchup. I thought today's was bad, but they scored 13 runs, and I didn't yet have Zebinator fever. I texted Phil. I said,
Zebosaurus Rex.
I said, I don't think I can work. I said, I'm calling in sick tomorrow. I've come down with Zebby fever.
And the only thing that can cure it is more Zebmeister.
More Zebby starts.
I'm going to be feeling it for another 4 days until he's back on the bump.
You know what the Z in Zebby stands for? It stands for zip.
Zip. Zippity-doo.
Okay, before we get to our final predictions here, you know what I've been workshopping? A way to fix my electrical systems.
Oh, yeah.
Who should I contact?
Well, that is a very simple call. It's to 612-357-2604. And there, if you're watching this right now, you see the trucks going out. Finch Home Solutions, our friend Cody and his team do a fantastic job. And Minnesota sports fans, Vikings fans in particular, I want to talk to you right now because Finch Home Solutions is now an official a certified dealer and installer of gemstone lights, which equals, well, for most people think, oh, great, permanent holiday lighting, which means you don't have to get up on the roof every year, put them up, take them down. But I've got another thought. So what if you were to get the wife the permanent, holiday lights, right? She's like, oh, this is fantastic, honey, because they look great. You don't have to hang them. But then what if I told you that privately, that those lights can be changed? So those lights can be changed to the color of, let's say, your favorite team. So it's the Friday before a big Vikings game, and all of a sudden, you've got purple lights. In other words, guys, it's a win-win. You do something that she loves for the holidays, the holiday season. But privately, that you are getting lights that can be changed to Twins colors, Vikings colors. What more could you possibly want? You're happy. She's happy. Finch Home Solutions, Cody. Guess what? They're happy too. FinchHomeSolutions.com is how this starts. FinchHomeSolutions.com. I'm telling you right now, football season is coming. Make sure you got those lights. And then when it's Christmas time, it's like, hey, it's Christmas time. Look at these lights.
It's Christmas time at Target Field right now because you get to watch the Zebmeister pitch the rest of the summer. It's great. Twins are playing impact baseball games at the best ballpark in America, at least top 3. That one in San Francisco is pretty badass too. But Target Field, great place to watch some baseball. Sundays are kids' days. Saturdays are 612 Saturdays, $6 beers, $1 snacks, $2 food. Learn more at twins.com/tickets, twins.com/tickets for your summer fun at the ballpark. All right.
Write this down.
Judd, your final prediction.
All right, I workshop this one. Write this down. Zebby Zorro Matthews, so he gets a Z. Zebby Matthews will start at least one postseason game for the Twins.
Oh, man.
I think they're going to bypass Sim. I mean, Festus pitched well.
The guy was an A-ball 3 months ago.
Look at him.
He's going to start Game 7 of the World Series.
Dobnak again?
Dude, I don't think he's Dobnak.
He's not Dobnak.
He's not Dobnak.
No, and he's got the body.
Dobnak didn't have an out pitch, couldn't miss a bat.
Well, and Dobnak didn't. Look, Dobnak was a great story. Dobnak was like the story that the film was based on the Tampa Bay pitcher.
Oh yeah,
the rookie,
the Dennis Quaid, right?
Yeah, but I forget the pitcher's name.
Yeah, that guy.
But it was that like he's a feel good. Zebby's here to stay. Starts a postseason game.
Yep. Okay.
Write this down.
Okay, Dex.
All right, I'll make a Joe Ryan prediction. So Joe Ryan he's going to stay back, obviously, on the road trip here. He's going to fly out to California. He's going to get that second opinion on his tricep injury. I forget the actual doctor. It's the same doctor, I believe, that operated on Towns, too, and has operated on a bunch of athletes. I know Dukes and I were exchanging messages
Begin
on
with
this.
an A?
Alt check.
Alt check, yeah.
Dr. Neil Dr. Neil
Oh,
Altrek.
he's the
He's
new
the guy.
James
He's the guy.
Andrew's
Oh,
friend,
wait.
Job.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neil
So he did,
Altrek's great.
he did Cat's meniscus surgery. He's the team doc for the Dodgers and the Rams too, which is pretty crazy. So write this down. Joe Ryan will pitch again this season. He will pitch again, and I'm going to quantify this either with the Twins, of course, and the AAA season does run until September 22nd, at least the regular season does.
Wow.
So either a minor league start or an appearance, he will pitch again at some point, and I'll include playoffs this season with the Twins.
Okay.
Write this down.
Okay, write this down. I'm going to go off the grid a little bit here. In 2019, we, at the beginning of SKOR North, we had an afternoon drive radio show, and we were still doing live radio and building a podcast network and YouTube channel. And for a year, our afternoon drive show was Mackie and Judd with Rami. And I think Rami might still have a prediction or two in the archives here. Rami Makloff, still wildly talented. He went out to Sacramento for a while. He's a Milwaukee, Chicago guy. He's been filling in on the SKOR 670. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but yesterday it was announced that Danny Parkins, who's the 8-year afternoon drive host on the SKOR 670 radio station in Chicago, that he is leaving the station this week to move to New York City to be a morning or whenever. I don't know what the time slots are going to be. He's going to join Fox Sports 1 and do one of those Talking Heads TV shows. So there's a gigantic opening now on one of the biggest sports radio stations in the country.
Our guy?
I floated a text to our guy this morning because Rami was in the mix as a finalist for a job on that station. It would be his dream job.
Oh, boy. Okay.
It would be his dream job to be a full-time host on the SKOR 670. He's a gigantic we used to make fun of him because he was like a Bears fan talking Vikings and a Cubs fan talking Twins, but the audience loved Rami. So my prediction is, and I texted Rami, I said, hey, are we gonna lock this thing down? And he goes, I would love to. I have no other information other than like I don't think they've started the process yet for finding who that host is.
Okay.
I want to manifest this for our guy Rami.
Okay.
Write this down.
Write this down.
Rami Makloff will get a full-time job at the SKOR 670 by the end of the 2024 calendar year. Let's make Rami's dream job.
Write this down.
Let's manifest this right now.
Are you saying he's going to move into the Parkins role or just a job?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get bit where he moves into the Parkins role, but then they move the shows around or something.
Okay, all right.
Or they hire him and they put someone else. So I'm just going to say that when that type of stuff happens, it's open grounds for radio companies to shuffle things. So I'm going to say out of all of it, we've never experienced that before.
I've always had stability.
Clearly, yes.
Write this down.
So write it down. Rami will get a full-time job by the end of the calendar year at the SKOR 670 in Chicago.
All right.
I like it.
So, all right, boys. Those are the write that down predictions, the accountabilities.
Can you see this? Zebby, the Z.
Is that his logo?
Meister.
Have you
Yes.
created his logo?
Yes, he's Zorro. It's Zorro. It works perfectly. Zebby.
All right, we'll see you guys for. I think Doogie's been sick the last couple days, but we think Reckless Speculation Thursday with Doogs is coming back tomorrow. And then Purple Daily, there's 4 episodes posted in the last 24 hours. So please check those out too. See you guys.